When ChatGPT first came into our lives as writers, I don't know about you, but I was hearing a lot of fear as if ChatGPT might take over our jobs or their competition or things of that nature. And it's absolutely the opposite of true. It is not something to compete with, it's something to use as a tool to enhance your writing career. And so there are four main ways in that I am using it and loving it. And I want to share those today because, when graphing calculators came out, astrophysicists, they weren't scared. They used the graphing calculators. And, when calculators came out, CPAs didn't think they were going to get replaced. They use the calculators, they use the spreadsheets. And so personally, I think ChatGPT is one of the most fun tools to do calculations in plot, in characters. And of course, whenever there's that word that you just can't think of, or the phrase you just can't seem to get out into a sentence, ChatGPT is wonderful. So here we are with a gorgeous blank ChatGPT canvas. And there are four different kinds of questions that I always plug in. So let's start with structural pillars for specific genres. And so I love asking questions to help me with my initial outline. You can use these questions as prompts. So let me give you an example. Okay, we're going to put in right here, give me an outline. Let's put in basic, foundational, general outline for a paranormal romance. So, period. That's not a question. Okay, so now it should be spitting out. Perfect. Title, external shadows. And here's the thing, setting the frame, inciting incident. It's getting very specific. Rising action. It's using Freytag's pyramid. Don't we all love Freytag's pyramid? I used to teach that when I was a high school teacher. And so it's fun. You can do this in different ways. You could also say, help me, or let's go from here. Can you plug this structure into Save the Cat? And so this is fun because now you're no longer outlining on your own. You're not going to write the book that ChatGPT puts out, but you can ask about what are the essential scenes for paranormal romance? What Save the Cat of this eternal shadows paranormal romance that it's just helping me get into. And so here we have the different phases of Save the Cat. And so you can work this with your own idea. If you just start to describe the essential scenes of your genre, or if you start to describe, when a man meets a woman in a faraway land, and then get more specific than that, but you can start to get just the basics. So you're not alone and you're kind of conversing it out with AI. So the next category that I like to use when I'm getting ChatGPT to help me get unstuck as a writer are developmental conversations. And so you can see here they've given it everything from final image, finale, inciting incident, all of those great parts of Save the Cat or Hero's Journey or Freytag's Pyramid or whatever structure you want to use. But we also have developmental conversations. So if we look at, let's just take, what have they given us for Eternal Shadows here? So they have opening image. Let's skip to Catalyst. Ava encounters Gabriel, the powerful and enigmatic ghost seeking her help. So let's ask, where would be the perfect meet cute for Ava and Gabriel to meet? Can you give me 10 examples? And so this is the fun. in the developmental process, developmental conversations, you're just brainstorming. They're giving us the haunted library. They're giving us the abandoned manor. These are very genre type of places. I don't think I've written about abandoned manors unless I was doing a ghost story. So that's a good one. Ghost Tour Full Moon Festival. That would probably be my favorite. But here you can see with the different developmental parts, you can ask about setting, you can ask about all sorts of different things, which brings us to the third thing I love using ChatGPT for, and that is characterization and character psychology. So one of my favorite books for character psychology is Game of Thrones. I think the character psychology and that series is wonderful. And so, for instance, we could, and excuse my spelling of this, let's see, what characters, what historical figures had a similar psychology to Cersei Lannister? What historical figures had a similar psychology to Cersei Lannister? I think I've spelled Lannister wrong. Please forgive me. Let's just put it in as it's spelled. Not my best trait, but we're gonna go with it. Lannister. There's another N there. Thank you. So this is wonderful. I find this fascinating when they talk about real people in history who are similar to characters. And so at least it gives you a place to start. When you're looking at a plot, it's so efficient to choose unforgettable characters that you admire from other places and then start to study the psychology of your villains, the psychology of just unforgettable protagonists as well. And so here we can, they're giving us historical figures, which I think is fascinating. And so let's go a level deeper. What is the psychological profile of Catherine de Medici? Let's see what's going on. And so this is fun because when you can one of the most valuable things in a complex plot are complex, psychologically realistic characters. And the fact is that when you're looking at people in history, it's fun. Ambition and political savvy, resilience and adaptability. I wonder if they liked Cersei Lannister. That would be funny. But we're seeing a lot of really fun moral ambiguity. Okay, I would say Cersei Lannister had a little moral ambiguity going on, paranoia and distrust. And so here we can do some historical research. We can look at other real people who may have had the psychological complexities that we want to see in our own villain. So it's not kind of just a Lex Luthor, no offense to Lex Luthor, but he's kind of just a very straightforward, black and white. He doesn't have any psychological complexity. He's just mad. He's just mean and he's just mad. And so having villains, one thing that I particularly note about Game of Thrones that was fun to read is that there is this entire brigade of villains and they are all so different. And so we have Cersei, we have Joffrey, we have Ramsay. All of these are villains, but they have very different psychological complexity. And when you can do that in your books, that's wonderful. When you can use ChatGPT to help you do that in your books, that is also wonderful. So there you go. So that's the third. And then the fourth way I like to use it is just when, as I just was, when you can't think of a word, when you're having a little bit of trouble getting your idea into phrases. So can you give me 7 opening lines for a novel about And I think, didn't we have a paranormal romance going? We had a great start on a paranormal romance in just 2 seconds. And so Eternal, can you give me 7 opening lines for the paranormal romance, Eternal Shadows? So this is fun. This can, I use it a lot. No, not so much by giving these specific lines, like give me my opening line, because I probably, when I usually read these, let's read one. Ava always knew the old library held secrets, but she never expected one of them to whisper her name. So that is actually kind of beautiful. And the thing is, it gives you different ways of thinking. If we wrote this novel, Eternal Shadows, it's not going to have a voice. It's not going to have the personal complexity and humanity that we can give it ourselves. And so the idea here is not to get ChatGPT to write a book for you, because that would probably take just as long as writing the book, because there are so many intricate questions and ways to develop that we need for our own creativity. But just like our astrophysicist and his graphing calculator, having this support to do some of these calculations of genre, of characterization, even our phrasing, it can keep us coming up with the new creative twists and turns that make our novel great, and we don't spend weeks kind of thinking over one conundrum that we can't seem to solve. So every single Friday, I have new tools, new resources to help you move forward on your author dreams. And I just wanted to share, if you sign up below, I have this plot table. It helps you to get your entire plot on one page, and you can sign up right below. It will be delivered straight to your email with some other wonderful resources to help you keep writing. So much love. Talk to you soon.